a love letter. Now still seated here, debating on whether to splash that spray of spring petal freshness upon the starting phrases of this love letter to you or not. As such do I realize that times have passed, and with it has age dawned upon us, pushing us to frown upon the same things that so brought mellow and a melt of warmth upon our hearts. So, skipping all the pleasantries and tenderness that I once thought and felt drench a rush of joy through you, leaving your pillow soft lips agape, allow me to say, blessed days and pleasant nights. Now blessed because, despite the space and span of time, I have mustered up the courage years after to write you this long overdue letter. A letter I believe, had I written those early days despite our unfamiliarity, would have gone a long way to tip the table in our favor. And also because a letter was all I needed to bridge the gap between forgotten passions and the present dilemma when you wouldn't pick my calls. And pleasant nights tell because, despite the gush and bite of pain I previously felt, the fear of the mention of your name not only by friends but also even through media devices, with time have I learned to wish you a lovely night instead of terror, as my head and pillow become accustomed to loneliness. So yes, you can now understand why it has been so long before I said anything, and this coming from a person who so loved to talk. With this same thought, have I realized that maybe I should have learned to listen more with my heart and mind than I spoke with my lips and mouth. That maybe when you said that you loved me without any coercion, you only meant that you loved my company at that time, and when you said that you needed time off and space with it, it meant that I had so easily suffocated you with my openness and sincerity. And yet still, before you stop reading this letter, just remember that I am not in the least upset with you, but this is a sincere thank you note. A thank you note to let you know that despite the passions and lusts I previously had towards women, with you, I realized that the phrase love at first sight was actually not just an invention of a foolish person, but the reality of a sincere heart. I mean, I felt it when I first saw you. Love at first sight. Foolish, right? Yet such is the only love I truly miss and crave for. Foolish love. One that didn't look at creed or color. One that took not into account form, fashion, or even class. One that cared not how foolish it was to explain a love beyond regions or tastes, but one that only cared for the depth and accent of beauty in the ocean they saw in the other's eyes, and how deep they were willing to dive to enjoy all the saltiness therein. A love that didn't care that at one moment your delicate lips would hold the most amazing smile as your hoarse, ecstatic voice spat melodies for words, but then the next moment would see all these turned around in the rage and agitation thereof, of your voice and the whole of yourself. Yet as such throes rose and stayed high up, with this same love wait in anticipation as your normal calm and most infectiously pleasant person came back. You see, my dear beloved, I am not upset with you, but every memory of you reminds me of the person you enabled in me, the one who learned that true to the words ancient inscribed, when you love, you give. And with this did I grow even deeper in philosophy that love needed no reason, and even when you love, you don't really have to receive the same back. I am forced to close this mail and I hope that you get to read it, even as I see the mailman anxiously waiting to take this piece away with him. Now allow me to send you the next portion of this letter the next time the mailman comes around. So until next time, stay blessed and stay safe. PePa, the sketches of life.